beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Time gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Robertson County, what is going on? Good morning. This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah Laverne, and this is One Street Over, and it's a brand new week. Take a breath. Here we go. My man Kaleb is in the house. Kaleb Stratton. And somebody was asking me your title again the other day. I said, well, he is our wildlife resource officer, you know, and I got that part. Well, and I said, no, he's not our wildlife resource officer anymore. He's like a regional something. And tell
You
him
just
what.
say sergeant.
Sergeant Kaleb Stratton. I love
Wildlife
it.
sergeant.
Wildlife sergeant.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
T-shirt. Needs a T-shirt. Wildlife sergeant. And because you've got gold on now,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
that it?
Yellow, gold, whatever. I call
Yellow
it gold,
gold,
you know.
but because that's the change in his ranking amongst the wildlife resource community.
Yep.
And we have a new wildlife resource officer that you're supposed to call whenever you think there is a panther in your yard or something crazy
I
like
definitely
that.
send
Do you
those
get
calls
those
to him.
calls? Do you get those calls?
Still, yeah, oh yeah.
I have people that swear that we've got mountain lions and we got panthers and stuff. What say you?
I say no right now.
Okay.
But I mean, they've been here before.
Okay.
But so
every now and
nothing
then-
is impossible. But
Sure. Well, I mean,
but it's highly, highly unlikely. Every call I've gotten recently, people have been sending me pictures as well. And one of the pictures that they thought was a mountain lion was actually a coyote. And then most of them are just house cats.
That's a dog. Okay, how do you get a mountain lion, a coyote?
You'd be very surprised.
I think about people that have not been raised in the country, and it's kind of like once a couple little kids I took out to the garden up at the church to pick the cucumbers, and they go, "This looks like a pickle." They've never been around it,
Right.
And so they don't have any idea. So very interesting. Yeah, I've had that conversation about mountain lions and all those kind of critters here just lately. And a couple of people that just swear they've seen big cats around
Well, there was
here.
a Facebook post, I think, on Hip Springfield maybe, and people were saying they saw a mountain lion on the Greenway. And so somebody tagged me in it, of course.
How long
I
ago was
commented.
that?
It was a couple weeks ago.
Really? Oh, cool. Okay.
But there has been a confirmed coyote around the Greenway, and it has been hanging out around the Greenway, the fairgrounds, around North Main Street,
Okay.
So
Ooh.
there is one hanging around out there. And,
So,
we get a lot of calls, and people say, they start out the conversation with, I have a problem with coyotes. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the problem? And they said, well, there's coyotes in my yard. Okay, I said, so what's the problem you're having with them?
Yeah.
They said, well, there's coyotes in my yard. I said, I know, but what's the problem? What's the problem? What are they doing? Like, well, they're not doing anything. I said, exactly. They're not doing anything.
They might eat my little puppy dog.
They could. They actually could.
Yeah.
But
So
they're not. They're not, most of the time. So
you can't do anything about them until they eat the puppy?
No, you can do stuff. I mean, if you want to.
Facetious.
Yeah, I'm just... we don't come out there and trap them or anything, but you're more than welcome to hire trappers or shoot them yourself if it's safe for trapping.
Okay. So that's the thing. There's no moratorium on you can't kill coyotes. You absolutely can.
Oh yeah, absolutely, year round, especially if they're threatening you.
A
with your
nuisance
property.
and they're freaking you out, and you've got some little toy dog, and you don't want to let it go out because there's been a coyote stalking. He's probably stalking your yard because you have a little toy dog.
That or a lot of people feed their pets outside. So the people that feed their pets outside, the coyotes and bobcats can smell that too, so they'll want to try to come eat it as well.
Oh wow. Huh. I have a feeder bin on my porch that I just let them eat on demand because back in the day, there was one time I think I had 20 dogs on my place.
Oh,
but
wow.
we rescued.
Right.
We tried to rescue, and we always treated them really good. They lived a long time. We found homes for as many as we could that we needed to. We rescued a breeding pair of Newfoundlands that had puppies, and so that's counting 9 puppies. And so... But we had too many dogs. I have 2 now. People are always trying to give me dogs. I'm like, no, I'm too old for that. That's back when I had 4 boys at home and
somebody
all
took care of them.
Yeah, to help at least. And so we've always had the custom of just keeping a feeder out there because we just had so many to feed, and we still do that. And it's so funny. There is a white dog that lives over at the wastewater plant, and they're so creative. They named her Whitey. So I know they're so funny. But one time, one of them said something about my dog. I said, that ain't my dog, y'all. That's y'all's dog. And it's a stray that came up, and they just kept it. And she's at home there. But my chocolate lab, that's his girlfriend.
Oh.
And so whenever he comes in and goes to sleep at night, she sits outside my window and gets out there and eats. And I wonder who else, because I'm sure she has many other friends in the neighborhood. So I wonder who else she brings up and says, buffet, help yourself.
Probably the coons and possums. And
who knows? I need to really put a camera on my porch.
That would be cool,
just to see who's coming and enjoying that feeder.
And like people if I were feeding, I don't feed pets outside, but if I did, like if a coyote came up, I wouldn't think anything about it.
No.
It's like, oh, cool, coyote. Or bobcat, oh, cool, or fox.
Oh, I would love to see a bobcat.
It's pretty cool.
The only time I think I've ever seen bobcats, and people think I'm crazy, I was coming out of Kroger, and there's like some kind of a drainage place, and I saw a bunch of bobcat kittens going down in there. I think that's where they were hiding.
Yeah, very likely. We've got a lot in the county.
Yeah,
Lots of bobcats.
and I know they were bobcat kittens because they were just too chunky, and they looked like bobcats.
Right.
And just a bunch of them, and I was like, I want one. You say I can't have one?
No, you can.
But I have to go through certain licensing.
Well, it's a
that.
permit you buy, and it's super easy to get, and you can buy them on. There's a Facebook page that actually there's a place called Fraser Farms Exotics, and that sells fox and coyotes and everything.
Okay, well, why can't I just take one out of the woods?
Because we don't want to. So those are still. So these that you can buy from these people. It's so many years down the line of them not being wild. You know what I mean? They've been raised in captivity. They're bred in captivity. It's just like animals at the zoo.
Right.
Those animals didn't come out of the wild. The animals you see at the zoo have been there generations and generations of pen raised animals.
Right.
We don't want to get into the habit of going out to the wild, taking animals out of the wild. Those are still very much wild animals.
Okay.
And will act like wild animals.
Even if you get one as a little kitten.
Right. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Because their bloodline is directly wild. I know from experience.
Okay. Well, I find that interesting. Well, because whenever I was a kiddo, almost all of our dogs for a long time, they were wild dogs.
Oh yeah.
Because people would abandon animals. They would have puppies in the woods. And my dad, one of my stories, I talk about my friend that died in Vietnam, Kenneth Pease, and one of my favorite memories is of Kenneth and Daddy hiding these puppies in their shirt to sneak them in to keep Mama from seeing them because they knew once me and my sister saw them, that was all she wrote.
Right.
But my mother would be like, get them out of here.
Now, wild dogs are different because those aren't considered wildlife. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
they're considered pets.
all these things you need to know. This is why you need to know. Sergeant Kaleb
Yeah.
Stratton.
Cats and dogs
So-
don't come to us. We don't do anything with pets.
Right. Domesticated animals, nothing. So if a dog has pups in the woods, I shouldn't call you and say, I've got wild dogs. I should call the Humane Society.
Right. Yep. Animal control. Whoever you need to call. Yeah.
okay.
That's not us. And same thing. Like if we get a call about, I know it sounds weird, but like there was a call. You may have seen it on Smoky Barn and stuff about the kangaroo. They got killed in the White House. You remember that? And there was a big stink about that.
Yes.
People were calling us, and we're like, "Hey, that's nothing to do with us. It's a kangaroo, not a wildlife animal for Tennessee."
Okay, it's something that was, because you've got, so what, you know,
Those are-
I
so
kind of
most-
remember, did somebody have it as a pet? And
Yeah. So there's some people, and I can't think of their names.
there's
but,
a place up in Kentucky that has,
Oh, really?
Kentucky Down Under.
Oh yeah.
But that's not in White House. I don't think that's close enough.
No,
to-
these people, they have just a ton of wild animals. They go to schools and do programs. I mean, they have all kinds, not
okay.
just kangaroos. They have all kinds of stuff.
Okay, they have all kinds of exotics. Okay.
But,
Interesting.
they're all non-native though, so
Hmm.
most non-native stuff you don't have to have permits for. But like there are some things like we're not going to let anybody have alligators.
Yeah.
Those are very dangerous animals. So poisonous or venomous snakes, we don't let people have those.
Okay.
But there are, just like I said, a few exceptions. You still can't have a skunk as a pet. A lot of people want that. There was actually a bill that went through the House a couple years ago that I thought they were going to pass it, and they ended up not passing it. But where you could have skunks.
Because you can have them where they don't
Yeah,
smell. You can have them, what do you call it? I forget. There's
it's like deglanded or something. It's a
D-
gland,
yeah, there's
they take the gland out.
because I had a cousin who had a pet skunk.
They're
as
just like a
child.
cat, they say.
Yeah, I had a cousin that had a pet skunk.
Kind of like a ferret, I guess.
And yeah, I guess. But oh well, we're just all over the place. Kaleb Stratton's in. Sergeant Kaleb Stratton's here. He is with Wildlife Resources here in Middle Tennessee. He is our sergeant in this region now. And what is the name of the new the Wildlife Resource
Yeah,
Officer?
I'll get
for
him in here one
Robertson?
day, I promise. But
Yeah,
his name is
absolutely.
Jason Shapton.
Okay.
Jason Shapton. He's a good friend of mine. We've known each other a long time, and
Okay.
he's been in law enforcement for a long time. He was a sergeant at White House PD. Went to the sheriff's office. Was a road deputy and a patrol deputy and SRO there. And quit everything he ever knew and went back to school to get his degree in wildlife so he could become a wildlife officer.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah.
I think I met him at
Probably.
Judge Perry's thing.
Yeah.
I think that's where
he
I met
came with
him.
me a few
Yeah.
times to some of that. So.
And so funny. There was a young, who was it? They were telling me about a young man that wants to be you. And
Hey,
said,
I was that person too, though.
yeah, and a little fella, and I guess maybe it was my husband was telling me about this young man. I can't remember the specifics of it, but I just jokingly said, "Well, that's a tough gig to get."
Yeah.
Because like you said, you know, it's
Jason and I
just-
both just kind of looked up into it. I mean,
Yeah.
he lives here. I mean, he looked into it kind of, I mean, Mike Murdoch, had been there since, the
Yeah,
80s,
forever.
the mid 80s. So, I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
go anywhere.
And
he's from
yeah.
East Tennessee. So he moved here from East Tennessee because that's where the job was.
Right.
And he got here and loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Well,
like, man, this
it's
is
Robertson
cool.
County.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
tell people. Like, they're
You
like,
should have
"Why
no
don't
idea."
Yeah. I don't have the urge to move. I don't want to move. I
Yeah.
like it here.
I love everything about it. I really do. There's so much reminiscent of the area I grew up in. What I loved about the area I grew up in, I love the smoking barns. I just can't get enough of that. It's just a cool place. It is a cool place. And if you have questions for Kaleb, be sure and put them up on our comments. I saw Jessica come walking in, so we'll talk to her at 7:30 from the sheriff's office. And we just, of course, the elephant in the room is hunting season. And it started officially completely this weekend, correct? So,
I think it did. No, it did. No.
oh, silly. My nephew up in Kentucky already bagged a deer. My mother's last night, she's like, Wade, God, shot a deer. And and that's the thing. All of my kids keep saying they're going to come hunt on my property, and they have yet to do it. And so I've got all these rambunctious deer running around. How important is it for us to harvest the deer population?
Well, I tell people all the time, would you rather hunters have them or would you rather your car have them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, and they can overgraze and things like that, right? Is that
Right, so
something that you see in some areas?
Not really, because being an agricultural county, we have a ton of cropland.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I
Yeah.
have to issue a lot of permits to farmers each year so they can kill deer out of season,
Mm.
so they don't do damage to those crops. But, I mean, we just have an endless food source for wildlife here. So we haven't hit that spot yet. there's just to get into a little bit, there's a study being done right now. It's been going on for about 5 years with UT Knoxville about our turkey population, because our turkey population was unbelievable for a while. It was too unbelievable, and now it's dropped down a lot, and people are like, man, the turkeys, what's wrong with them? So we started a study, and we don't know exactly, but we think we did too good of a job bringing turkeys in. We did too good of a job, and so they became overpopulated, and then they started dying out. So now we think the turkey numbers they're down from what they were, but we think it's normal now. We just had so many. Like I said, we did such a good job bringing them back that there was too many of them.
So basically, what they needed to survive, they depleted. As far as
and disease and stuff, because there would be times, like I know on my uncle's farm, there was a field we could go to and we could count 400 turkeys at any given time in one flock, 400 turkeys. So it's just like people being at school, or us being in a closed room. If one of us is sick, somebody's going to get sick. Okay. So one turkey around 400 turkeys, it's going to be bad, and they can't go to the doctor like we can. So when they get a disease, they get sick and die.
Okay.
But as far as the deer go, the deer they don't congregate up as much. You'll see a deer, 15, 20 deer in a group sometimes, but for the most part they stay pretty separated and all that. But right now, I don't think we've reached what's called the carrying capacity for our deer. We do have a bunch, a whole lot. And we do need to try to keep those down. The farm I hunt, we killed over 70 deer out there last year.
Oh, wow. And, are you kidding?
100%, yeah. And
70?
It hasn't made a dent in them. I mean, it's
really
crazy. That's just what we harvested during deer season.
Wow.
That's not to include the permits I issued for the farmers out there that killed I don't know how many. I mean,
right, because there's so many, and that's one thing. I gave up on. I've not raised a garden in many years, and I love having a garden, but I gave up on it because I could not keep the deer out.
Right.
I would have beautiful stuff, and then I come out between the deer and the rabbits, forget it.
Yes.
And they were just like, thanks.
Right.
And it just became just not productive for me at all. It was just a waste of my time.
Yep.
And so I would have to get a permit, and I could shoot a deer out of season.
Oh yeah.
And I'm one of those has a hard time. I'm like, you go shoot it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
And it's hard to do it too, because in the summertime you don't want to eat those things. They're so skinny and nasty and just tick infested. They're not the beautiful creature. From a distance, they look like beautiful creatures. But then when you harvest one and walk up to it, you're like, never mind. They don't have any hair. They're all just skin. There's no hair on them. It's not like in the wintertime right now where they have that nice, fur coat.
So if you harvest one in the summer, are you better off not even trying to harvest the meat? Or
I mean,
can you harvest it and make make ground meat?
No, I'm saying you could. It's just that as a society, we're very,
nice.
if it's not aesthetically good looking, a lot of times we don't want it.
I got you.
And I mean, just you see meat covered with ticks and fleas and everything, you just don't want to deal with it,
Talking with Kaleb Stratton. If you have any questions for him, throw them up in the comments. We'll talk with Jessica Drake, Public Information Officer from the Sheriff's Office. She's sitting on deck. She'll be with us at 7:30. Let's go ahead and pause, and let's take a break. We're kind of in a transition of sponsorship on our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Cumberland Connect, because we're hoping they're going to pick up that. We haven't heard from them just yet. But the big thing with Cumberland Connect is I'm just so excited to talk about them. Number one, they are in my neighborhood. I saw actually the Cumberland Connect vehicles actually at my neighbor's house a few weeks ago. And then I got a note from my husband. He goes, do you see what's hanging off the utility pole out here? There was a coil of wire that's hanging there. And we believe that is absolutely what's going on with Cumberland Connect, that they're headed to our house. So very excited about this. Can't say enough about getting high-speed internet to customers that have, like me, struggled to get things done at home. I was watching something last night. I was the only one in the house that was online, and it started the little spinny thing trying to buffer. There was one video I wanted to watch from The Chosen, the live stream from that. I could not get it to open. I could not get it to open because of my internet connection. So because I'm a Cumberland Electric customer, I'm going to have access to Cumberland Connect, and I cannot wait. CumberlandConnect.org is where you can find out more, www.cumberlandconnect.org/workshop, and you can find out when you can go to a workshop that will fill you in on all the nuances of what this means. What does it mean to have 1,000 megabits per second, to have a gig of access to your home? What about that state-of-the-art Wi-Fi 6 router that's included with internet service at no extra charge and local service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year? It is a great company. It is a great opportunity for those of us who have not had connectivity to have it once and for all. I cannot wait. Cumberland Connect, come knocking on my door, and they'll knock on yours too. When they do, tell them U-Turn sent you. Kaleb Stratton's in the house. Remember now, we do have a short week this week. I'm only working today. I will not be here Thursday or Friday. I've got to cook a big turkey dinner. And my husband's got me making dressing for something for the school buses too. And I'm like, really? But anyway.
So as a kid, that was my favorite time, was going to the bus shop to eat their Thanksgiving dinner there. I used to go all the time.
Really?
My granddad was a superintendent for the schools, for the maintenance side.
Okay.
So their office was over there. So every year when I was a kid, I'd go over there and eat with them. And that was my highlight of the year, was getting to eat, Thanksgiving dinner at the bus shop.
Oh, how funny, because they're doing it at Mr. Heinerman's house this year.
Oh, really? We used to do it in the bus shop, right by the grease pit,
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And for a kid, that's like, this is cool.
I used to run around everywhere in there as a kid.
I bet you did. That sounds like fun. No, but he did. He came home. He says, when you making dressing for your mama? Thanksgiving, probably put it together on Wednesday. Oh, I need you to make a pan for the bus. I'm like, do you understand that just saying, oh yeah, no problem, she can do that. I'm going to do it. But, anyway, no, I'm teasing. Paul Rainey has a question. Says, I see people plowing up sections of property and planting grasses and other things for deer to feed on and set up their blinds in that spot. Is that not baiting?
No, that's legal.
It's
we
legal.
want people to put in the work to do it. So what's illegal is taking a 50-pound bag of corn, cutting it open, and throwing it out on the ground. There's nothing good to that at all.
Okay.
So if it's any type of common agricultural practice, then that's okay to do.
Okay.
So planting food plots, like he's talking about, the grasses he's talking about, is a lot of times it's clover, turnips, stuff like that. That's stuff that'll grow in the wintertime very well. Winter wheat, a lot of people plant winter wheat for the deer. We do a lot of programs, like it's called CRP land, and it's got just native warm season grasses, stuff that used to be native here that you don't see anymore, and it'll grow up and get real tall and thick, and this is good cover and habitat for wildlife.
Okay.
But that also attracts them because it's so thick, so they like thick cover. If deer, you'll see them out in fields that are empty, with nothing on it, grass and stuff like that, but they love to live, in a very dense habitat where nothing can see them.
Well, yeah, I can find there's a couple of areas where we've reforested, and it's very dense and just real thick growth, and you can see where they bed down. I mean, it's just so obvious. Yeah. And you can there's a deer house. But now, when you talk about that you can't spread what if you feed them year round?
So yeah, it's okay to feed them.
If you spread corn, because I honestly, after deer season's over, I find myself wanting to put some corn on the ground during the snow and all of those things.
No, that's perfectly fine. You can do it year round. You're just not allowed to hunt over it. Okay. You can't use it for hunting purposes, and that's the largest violation we have. Is from baiting deer to hunt with. So
if I feed them outside of hunting season, I would need to stop feeding them during hunting season.
Well, it just
if
depends.
I'm going to hunt. So
right.
if I have fed an area, say down along my creek bank, I've spread corn, and then I would have to stop during hunting season if I was going to hunt down there.
Correct. Down there, yeah. It's got to be gone. All bait has to be gone 10 days prior to you hunting.
Oh.
So 10 days.
Okay. It's so funny up in Michigan. Where my husband is from, the Upper Peninsula, right? They have a deer camp up there. And one time we got up there, and this has been years ago, there was a bunch of, like an apple bait pile. Yeah. Where somebody put a bunch of apples, because, there's snow on the ground. Almost like they were just sitting inside the house.
Oh, yeah. All the time, yeah.
And it was so funny, because we're like, okay, that's not hunting.
Right.
That's not hunting. You know something, too, fascinating, how different the deer look up there, because they have a heavy coat of fur.
Right.
And it's just...
it's a lot colder.
It's like a woolly beast looking deer. It's fascinating to me to see the deer up there in the winter versus here.
Right.
It's very different. They're very different looking. They're deer, but you're like, what are you wearing there?
Yeah.
You been to Belk's? Got a coat. What else do we need to cover, brother?
That's a lot of it. We've, like you said, deer season, the gun season, deer season's been open since September, but the gun season, which is our most popular hunting season, it did open Saturday. Lots and lots and lots of deer harvested. Each
you have
year
any
is
weekend numbers yet?
I haven't looked yet. We've been actually really busy, and but it was a bunch. I mean, I'd say there was at least, just in Robertson County, I would say there's at least over 200 deer that have been harvested in Robertson County.
Wow!
Just since Saturday and Sunday, probably.
Wow!
Or if not, probably more than that. I know Saturday evening it was closer to 150. So.
Oh wow!
But the weather's been perfect for deer hunting. It hadn't been. It's been cold, but it hasn't been just frigid yet.
Yeah.
So people can get out there
Feels
and hunt.
frigid to me.
It is. Don't get me
What
wrong.
do you consider frigid then?
It's
Was it like 10 degrees? Is that frigid?
I mean, I don't like that. I can handle the mid-20s,
Yeah.
but once it gets colder than that, I like.
We're not in Buffalo, New York, so we're all blessed.
That's right.
Crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But talking with Kaleb Stratton, if you have any questions, I've got a big question, and this is a really important question because it's Christmas time. Now, I know about the lifetime licenses and things for all of the ages. Now, my grandson already has a lifetime hunting license. So give me some ideas. You grew up as a young man loving to hunt and do all those things. You've got sons. I've got a 6-year-old. I have no idea what to get that child. I've already gotten him a bow and arrow. I've gotten him a BB gun. Give me just a fabulous outdoors idea. That because he's already got the hunting licenses. Me and Papa got him that. So we've got him the BB gun, got him a bow and arrow last year. I'm out of ideas. I need something.
How old is he?
He's 6.
6. Oh yeah.
He turned 6 in July. So give me something because I want to do something outdoors. The kids got God bless them. Our grandkids are so blessed, and I think that's one of those things I just take to heart constantly because I do work. I've worked in benevolence for so many years at the church, working with students and just seeing kids that just don't have that. I'm very mindful of the fact, yes, my grandchildren are extremely spoiled, but I still want to get them something neat for Christmas, and I want something that draws them outdoors.
Right.
And so, give me an idea. Come on, I'm putting you on the spot.
Depends on how much money you want to spend. I mean, you can never go wrong with a 6-year-old for a 4-wheeler.
Oh, good Lord, no. Yeah, that ain't me. No. I don't have deep pockets like that. I wish I did.
Every child's different. People at 6 years old, they're allowed to start hunting the juvenile hunt, and people ask me this year, like, "Hey, you taking your boy?" And I'm like, "No, he is not ready." And some 6-year-olds are. Right. They are ready to go out, but mine's not. But just. I know you've already got them a BB gun and the bow and arrow, and depending on the what the parents want and y'all. But I mean, a 22 rifle is always a good way to go, especially just starting out. You can get them very small. Of course, it is a real firearm at that point, but at the same time, you can get these like little 22 crickets. They're called. I mean, they're literally only about that long, about 2 foot long.
How expensive or something like that?
Oh, those are only like $150. They're cheap. Okay. I mean, for
a weapon.
Yeah, for something like that. But it's not for. I mean, you could obviously squirrel hunt with it, but it's just to get kids, especially that age, like 6 to 8 years old. Those are made really to get them, introduced into firearms and firearm safety at home, where parents and grandparents can teach that before they can actually take their hunter safety class. So.
And tell them about the hunter safety class and what's the requirements on that. Since you mentioned it.
Yeah. So anybody born after January 1st, 1969 has to have hunter education if they want to hunt in Tennessee. And so right now you can actually take, and I don't agree with this, but we had to do it because of COVID. Right now you can still take the class all online. It's an all online class. You don't have to go anywhere, do anything, sit in the comfort of your home, sit on your couch. Parents can take it with the kids. They can help them all they need. Obviously we want them to take the test at the end, but and that's the worst part about it is you don't know how honest people are going to be.
Sure.
And plus, I like the in-person classes where we can actually talk to them and be more interactive. We actually bring firearms in so they can see them, handle them, and just learn more about them. So anyway, you can take the class once you turn 9 years old. There is some pretty good terminology in there. So we want kids to be at least 9 years old, or they have to be at least 9 years old, but they have to have it once they're 10 years old. So they have a 1-year period where they can take the class. But if they don't, we have some other avenues where we can get them in, or there's actually a permit that you can buy. It's a type 12, I think. It's $12. It's called the apprentice license, and that's for kids who, or even somebody say you want to try hunting, but you've never hunted, you don't have hunter education, and you want to try it, but you're not sure, so you can buy this apprentice license before you get into everything, and you can go hunting with that as your hunter education.
Well, I was born prior to that.
Right, no.
I was born in 62, so I'm grandfathered in. I'm old.
I'm way off now.
But, yeah. No, but that's cool. And if you, again, have any questions, how can they get in touch with you? Because we're right here at the bottom of the hour. So.
Yeah, so they can give me a call, email me, call me, whatever. Don't call 911, though. But I have an office number on my business card, and I tell people all the time when I give it to them, I have no idea what that office number goes to, so don't call it. But my cell phone number is 615-522-8149. Again, 615-522-8149. And my email is really easy. It's just my name, Kaleb.Stratton. So Kaleb with a K, Kaleb.Stratton@tn.gov. And
very easy.
anyway. And if you don't have my number, just ask your neighbor. They probably got it.
Would you want to tell them how to get in touch with our wildlife resource officer, though, instead of you?
Well, they can
Do you
still
have
call
that-
me. I'm still here. Like I'm still
Okay.
here working.
Sure.
So I'm still the officer here, and Jason and I work together a lot.
Well, you got to
so.
get Jason in here.
But I will
So-
I don't have his number readily available.
Oh, I
But,
got
hey,
you.
Jason.Shapton@tn.gov, though, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Jason.Shapton@tn.gov.
Shapton, how do you spell that?
Yeah, Shapton.
Okay, very good.
Shapton.
All right, very good.
So
Kaleb
anyway,
Stratton's here,
all right.
and Jason Shapton is our wildlife resource officer. We'll get him in here, but we got Sergeant Kaleb Stratton. So
Hey, this time next month, we're still going to be right in the middle of deer. Well, by that time, it'll be in the middle of deer season. So
this is correct.
I'll
Getting
have
close
some
to
more numbers
Christmas.
and
Knocking
better
on
stuff
Christmas.
for us
Or
then,
happy
so.
Thanksgiving to
Hey,
you
y'all
and
too.
yours.
Yeah, that's this week, right?
Absolutely. It's Thursday. Yes, it's this week, Kaleb. Your wife knows, I guarantee you. Anyway, God bless you. We'll let Jessica slide in here, and we'll go ahead and take a break here on 1100 WSGI. This is One Street Over, and one of our longtime sponsors, of course, Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team, my friends in real estate. Everybody needs a friend in real estate because you never know what's going to be going on. But if you're somebody that wants to come to the table, buying or selling right now, what did the interest rates do? The interest rates, they're like double what they were. What does that mean to you when it comes to buying a home? Well, maybe you're going to qualify for less home than what you originally had thought because of those interest rates. You got to understand all the nuances of that. Rebecca's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, which illustrates she's been at it a while. She is studying constantly to make sure she can cross every T and dot every I to make sure you're properly represented when you come to the table. Barry came out of a marketing career. He was a vice president of a media marketing company for 17 years. That experience, when he brings it to the table, means that when your property is online, people aren't going to just flip past it. They're going to take notice of it because it's been photographed well. Maybe there's video there. Maybe there's even drone footage because he can do all of those things for you. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but they buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line up in Kentucky. They are part of the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Oh my goodness, up in Cross Plains. They're one of us. Been there for over 20 years. When you get in touch with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, robertsoncounty.com, or make it easy, just call Rebecca, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Tell them you turned Cincha. Jessica Drake is in the house. I still owe you a set of watch for that baby boy, but I figure he's still a few months before he needs it. He's got some time. How old is he now?
He is 4 months.
4 months. Well, I saw one of the other babies in the sheriff's office.
Is it Looney's?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say,
wasn't sure.
I think that's the one that you always...
Well, because he grew up in church with us.
Yeah.
And so, well, they both did. What am I saying? They both did.
Yeah.
And so I saw them the other day, and he's so cute.
I think our babies are...
Pretty close.
Like a week.
Yeah.
Not even a week apart.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
I need to ask him. I'm gonna message him and
I was
ask
talking
him
to Jake.
because I can't remember.
He said, he goes, I think there were like 4 born all very close together.
Yes.
But I know they were very close. But so I saw him and I was like, oh. But it's so cute. It's just such a wonderful time. I know you're enjoying motherhood.
Yes. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's just, I mean, once you think you have a routine down,
Yeah, I know.
that doesn't.
No. Mm-mm. No.
You have to restart a whole nother one.
Yes, absolutely. I
Yeah.
have 3 grandchildren, and my sweet daughter-in-law, I don't know how she does it because she works as well, and she's a nurse, and I can't. She, bless her heart, her mom is available to watch the kiddos a lot, and her sister, and she's got family right there with her
Yeah.
that helps a lot, and of course my son, and I mean it's a lot. It's so different even whenever I had kids, and then of course when we were children, it's just how it changes the nuance of balancing everything.
Yes.
Well, God bless you. You look wonderful.
Thank
and
you.
Motherhood
you.
looks beautiful on you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Big Thanksgiving plans? Or going to like 10 places.
Yeah.
I know that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm going to my sister's, so it'll be Tommy's first Thanksgiving, which will be really nice.
You going to dress him up like a turkey?
I've thought about it. I haven't decided yet.
Absolutely. So many do. But it's so cute. Those pictures. You
Yeah.
love looking back on them and embarrassing your children when
Yeah.
they get older. But it's fun. And then I won't see you until after Christmas.
Yeah,
So,
January will be our next one.
so that was the thing. Whenever you messaged me, said, hey, what do you want to talk about? And I said, well, what do y'all have for Christmas advice? Do y'all have any programs that you're doing in regards to
Yes,
Christmas?
so-
what is the whole sheriff's office Christmas focus? Because we won't get to talk to you until after.
Exactly. So basically, this is a busy time of year. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. Every time of the year is a busy time of year
course,
for us.
yeah.
It's just something different of what's going on. So this time of year, we really want to focus on our SOS program because
yeah.
it's getting cold. You have the holiday seasons. Everyone's traveling. And this is just the time that a lot of our elderly really need somebody.
Yep.
And
Or special needs people.
Yep. And so we have our SOS program, the Senior Outreach Service, and that's available to any residents that are 60 years of age or older or disabled.
I'm going to be 60, like in a week and a half.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy to me
and
that I would qualify.
Yeah.
if I needed it, but I don't.
So I want to stress that it's or disabled, so it does not have to be and. And it's a great program. A lot of family members like to put their parents or somebody that they know on that
Right.
program because a lot of people need to be checked on, and you'd be surprised how many people may not have heat in their home or they can't get out when it starts getting really cold, and we're there to be able to get them their services. Our deputies they'll have a specific deputy, so they're not meeting a new deputy every week. They have someone that they can get comfortable with, and that deputy will reach out to them once a week and check to see if they're okay, if they need anything, check to see if they need help, getting their medications, getting some food, just making sure that all of their needs are met. And then if they need something, we have services with our local communities and churches and nonprofits that we can get the services that they need for them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
My mother's 83, and if it were not, we have a great, my brother's there, he lives on the farm, my nephew takes her, and my sister-in-law and friends, and so she's got people, but I can't imagine. I was with her yesterday, helping her get ready for Thanksgiving, and I can't imagine having someone her age and no one in the area, because, if we didn't have that support there and I had moved away and she's there by herself, it would panic me. And so what a wonderful service. I just think the SOS service is one of the
It's a great
coolest
program.
things y'all do.
We really enjoy it. Our deputies really enjoy it because
That's awesome.
they get to create these really good relationships,
Right.
and they're lasting relationships, and it's something our deputies really enjoy.
Yeah.
They love being able to just go and sit and talk with them, and it's a good community service that we can provide, and it's free. I want to point that out, that it is free. The sheriff's office pays for it, so it's no charge to anybody that wants to be on this program. And there's several ways that they can sign up for it. Of course, we have our sheriff's app, and then we have a specific email just for it. It's sos@robertsonsheriff.com. Or they can even contact the sheriff's office directly, or the direct number for Lieutenant Nick Roberts. That's 615-382-6190. That's 615-382-6190. Lieutenant Nick Roberts, he is the program coordinator. He's the one that got it all together, and did the research and was able to build this program, which is amazing. And also, if they just want to contact Central Dispatch as well, at 615-384-4911, a deputy will come out to their house and get them signed up. They don't have to come to the sheriff's office if they don't want to. We have made it to where it is so easy to get on this program. There's so many different ways, because we want as many people on it that need to be on it.
Right. And at 615-384-4911, we've got one of the easiest 911 non-emergency numbers I've ever heard. So, I mean, don't call 911, call
No,
615-384-4911.
Yes, that's
And that
another
way-
thing we stress
yes,
is
yes,
911 is
yes.
emergencies only.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you have an emergency, call 911. That also brings up another point, kind of off topic, that I've been asked a couple times, not really asked, but told, people have called the administrative office after the fact of suspicious activity at their home or something. And they said, well, and I'll ask them, I said, well, why didn't you call 911 or why didn't you call Central Dispatch? And they, well, I didn't want to bother nobody. I wanted to wait till Monday. No.
Yeah.
If there's something wrong, if it's an emergency, call 911 right then. Or if it's a non-emergency, call Central Dispatch, because the quicker that you can report it, the quicker that we can get on it.
Yeah. And if you're not sure if it's an emergency, call 911.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
If you're just not 100% sure, because you never know, somebody could be lurking around that could do you harm. But be careful about accidentally. One of my students the other day accidentally called 911 and from the classroom, and he goes, Miss Vivio, and was telling me, and I called up to the office. I said, just so you know, because we knew the officers were going to come. I mean, there was no way they were not going to come. And so they were like, okay. It was so funny. He felt so bad. He was like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, you should be. But anyway, don't do that. But, and I don't know how he accidentally did it, but nonetheless. I'm talking with Jessica Drake.
Happens.
She is the Public Information Officer for the Sheriff's Office, talking about all the things Christmas related, holiday related. SOS is just a wonderful service that is offered not just to our seniors, but to anybody who is disabled. We had a guy, and I've mentioned this to you before, that's I think about, he was, he had some mental disabilities. He was probably about mental capacity of about early teens, something like that, just enough that he could live alone, but really needed to be checked on. And we took him Meals on Wheels, and he's exactly the kind of person that you're talking about. There's several that I know that they've helped through HATS that are independent living, but they've got mental they've got mental challenges that are the type of that you need to check on. And that's what we're talking about, guys.
And also, this isn't a program. One thing about this program too is the best way to get this out is word of mouth, because a lot of the elderly, they don't use Facebook, they don't do social media, they don't do that, and so some of them don't even know about this program still, and we've had it for a couple of years now. So please, keep watch of your neighbors. If you have a neighbor that that just lives alone and no one ever seems to be around, no one visits them, or they seem like they could use the service, contact us, let us know, and we'll go over there and reach out to them.
Absolutely.
It's a community effort as well.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to get this information out to that group of people.
You were mentioning deputies, and it's something that I didn't really grasp until we started, talking and working together. When you talk about the hierarchy, you have the sheriff, and then everybody's deputies underneath, and then you have different officers. How does the structure of the sheriff's office work? I'm just curious. I mean,
so all of our deputies, they're deputized. So you have the sheriff, who is over the sheriff's office. Then you have the chief deputy.
Okay.
And then you will have you have a major, which he is over the detention facility. You have all your captains, which is a captain over you have a captain over each division, and they supervise over the division. Then you have a lieutenant, then you go sergeant, then you go corporal, then you go deputies.
Okay. So deputy is the entry level into law enforcement for the county.
Corrections officers are.
Okay.
You can come in to the
So
sheriff's
you're not
office
a deputy when you're a corrections
Well,
officer.
you are deputized. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
you are. You're not post certified. You're deputized, but you're not post certified as
Okay.
a corrections officer. You can come in as a corrections officer, and you can get promoted to a patrol deputy, and we'll send you to the academy to become post certified. But everyone is deputized. they are
Okay.
a deputy. Yes.
Interesting. I've just always it's so different because we try every other month to have the police to have chief head in here, and it's so different, the structure really in,
Yes.
in a way, and I find it just fascinating to learn all this stuff, and
It's similar as far as when you got your as far as ranks.
yeah,
Position ranks.
Okay.
But it's
like the military.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's different as far as your duties.
Okay.
As
Okay.
far as what?
Interesting.
Yes.
So, are y'all hiring?
We are hiring. Of course, that was on my list. That's always on my list.
So, how many openings would you say you have
Right now, we are at 23 openings.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, we have a lot of openings.
Is it all? Would they have to? I know that they don't. You if you want to get your foot in the door, you go into corrections officer.
Well,
if you've not had any training or anything, that's kind of the foot in the door, right?
Yes. So basically, if you are already post certified.
So you've been to the academy. Is that what that means?
Yes, if you've already been to the academy and you're post certified, then you can apply for school resource officer or patrol deputy. And we have openings for both of those.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
we have openings in pretty much every division.
I didn't know
right
you had school resource officer openings.
now. We do. We
Okay.
do. It's kind of. I think right now we've only got about one opening. And even though we have openings in school resource officer, all the schools are covered.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
probably one of them
Yeah.
that has two. Or do you have any that have two?
Yes, we do have a couple schools that have two. I know
Springfield, I was pretty
Springfield
sure
has
does.
two, and I want to say we have one more that has two, but I'm not
Yeah.
positive on that one.
Yeah.
And then corrections officers, yes, that's entry level. You can come in. You don't have to have any previous training for that. If you have years of service, we do have a pay scale of you can start in at a higher rate if you do have experience in corrections. So you don't start at the starting pay, but for corrections officers you can start in at $18.75 to $19.41 depending on your experience, and then for patrol deputies and school resource officers that's starting at $20.25, and actually the pay has just, let me pull this up. I had it written down, and
We're talking to Jessica Drake. We're talking about all the things in the sheriff's office. She comes in every other month, and just talking about the job availabilities. What got me thinking about is you were talking about the SOS program and how it is facilitated by the deputies, and then I got to thinking, okay, how many deputies do they have? And then I got into the whole hierarchy thing, and that's where my mind went.
Yes.
How many deputies do y'all have on staff right now? Do you have that number?
185.
185, and what do you need?
Well, 185 is what we need.
Okay.
Yes, so that's what our that's what we're budgeted at, is for that. So for corrections officers, let me change that. The pay for experience has changed. It's $18.75 to $23.05.
Okay.
Depending on experience. For post-certified officers, which is patrol deputies and school resource officers, it's $20.25 to $24.89.
Okay.
Depending
on your
experience.
Okay.
And just give us a call. You can call our recruitment team at 615-382-6168, and they'd be happy to help you. You can also get on our website at robertsonsheriff.com. All the information is on there as far as the requirements, the benefits, everything that we offer, and also to apply.
Give those numbers again and that information again,
Yes,
just in case somebody's writing them down.
the recruitment team, you can give them a call at 615-382-6168. That is a direct number. If you get a voicemail, please leave a voicemail. They are very busy, and they will call you back.
Very good. So, talking with Jessica Drake, I'm going to take a pause, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to reset and come back and talk about what she wants to talk about, because I've been just asking her questions ever since she sat down. So we will take a look at what she brought to the table today as we get ready to wrap it up. But I do want to pause and talk about my friends at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. What have they got going on while it's cold? I know I cannot say enough about this winter cabbage that I bought, that I have in my pots around my house. Oh my goodness, it's still alive. It's still doing great. And that just kind of blows my mind, because I get a few degrees colder down in the hollow than you do up on the hills. And so I have things that will freeze ahead of y'all. So I'm just saying, if you didn't get any of that purple cabbage to put in your flower pots, you're missing out, because it is doing fabulous right now. And she may still have some of it in the greenhouse. I don't know how it would do right now. But go and talk to them. They've got beautiful things in their greenhouse to bring into your home, to just bring the life into your home during the winter months. They are also your source when it comes to CBD products. If you're like me and you have arthritis, CBD was, my doctor told me to start using CBD since I don't like taking pharmaceuticals. And he said it would really make a difference for me. And he's right. I've been stunned. And they'll, of course, continue with all the CBD products that they have throughout the winter. You can go and talk to them. They're at 4920 Highway 161 in Springfield. The number to call is 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Hours of operation right now, they're at 10 to 4, Monday through Saturday, Sunday from 1 to 4. Now, they will adjust those hours as it gets colder and colder, but you can check out, if you'll just follow them on Facebook, you'll find out everything you need to know about Corbin Creek Greenhouse and Gifts. That's how you can follow them and find out everything that they have going on. They do some Christmas decorating, but good luck getting on. Call them and see if you can get on the list. But I know they had November full 3 weeks ago, so I've got a feeling they're probably full up. But they do just a beautiful job in everything that they do. Just great friends, great gift ideas inside the store as well. The CBD products, of course, and some handmade items as well. Go and talk to them today. They're just a lot of fun to visit with, always fun to talk to. And when you get in touch with Miss Amy, be sure and tell her that U-Turn sent you. And as we're continuing on with the show, Jessica Drake, Public Information Officer from the Sheriff's Office, is here and talking about all things that are Sheriff's Office related. Different from the Police Chief's Office. There are two different, we have throughout the county, they cover, of course, the entire county, but then you have your city officers, and that's Springfield, Greenbrier, White House, Coopertown.
White House. You have part-time Cross Plains, and then you have Portland.
Okay, so you have different offices and different things going on, but always a sheriff's office in the county. But now, if somebody actually lives in the city, the first place they need to call is their city, right? If they have an emergency.
They'll call Central Dispatch. It's the same number, and right. They will dispatch out the police for their city. Okay, to them. Very and then good. Of course, if types of calls, things like that. You can see both county and city within a city limits, things like that. We all work together. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and it is the Christmas season. So what else is going on other than we talked about the SOS? What else you got? So the other big thing right now is safety tips. Sheriff's Office on our Facebook will put out a safety tip every Monday, but this is a good time to kind of address all those. The biggest thing right now is scams. That's starting again. You're going to start getting scams for, which this one's throughout the whole year, but I was just notified of this last week. The jury duty scams is going around again. Really? Yes. So you have people calling, pretending to be a deputy or a detective, or they want to call themselves something from the sheriff's office, and saying that they have an outstanding warrant or they missed jury duty and they need to pay this right away or they're going to jail. We don't do that. We do not do that. If somebody says they're from the sheriff's office and that they were demanding money, we do not demand money. Mm-hmm. We do not just do that. Hang up on them. Hang up on them. Just hang up on them. Unfortunately, those kind of things, they're using phone numbers that you can't trace them, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You call them back and they don't work and they're disconnected, and it's what is it, like the robocalls or whatever it's called? Yeah. Or they use like an app and use a fake number. They have those apps out there. So just mind you, if that's what you get, just hang up on them. Of course, if you ever get a phone call from somebody, whether it's a bank or something, and it just doesn't seem right, never give out personal information, even if they say that even that's where you bank at, or it's Amazon or something like that. Don't give out personal information if they call you. You can always hang up, call them back, Call the bank yourself, call the Amazon yourself, and verify that they did call you. And if they did call you, then you've contacted the right person, because when they call you, you don't know.
Right.
You really don't know. That's the best thing you can do, is don't give out personal information if somebody calls you.
Well, and they make
And
it
you can't
sound so
verify it.
real. They make it
do.
look so real. I've gotten a couple of different times an email from PayPal saying that I have this bill and authorizing payment, and it just looks so real. And you think, oh, number one, I think, okay, somebody pulling a scam on me. And if I click on it in any way, I'm engaging with them. And so sometimes I even want to just shut down my PayPal account, because it just seems so open to being messed with.
Yeah, and for emails, always make sure you check the email address that it's being sent from, because usually a bank or PayPal or something like that, their email address is going to be pretty official. And a lot of times you can actually make out that it's a scam just by the email address, because the very ending, you're like, that doesn't look right.
It might have PayPal on the front of it, but at the end it's like, that's not,
it's odd.
Catdog.com or something. I don't know. I mean,
something crazy. Or their attachment, if they say, oh, here's your invoice or here's your bill. A lot of times their attachment will actually be like a HTML link, and instead of like a PDF. Like you would normally get, or something like that. And so you'll click that link, and
you've just engaged
and either they've took your information off of whatever device that you've clicked off of. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get into whatever you're doing. So just don't do it.
It's amazing. I mean, all you got to do is click on it. And that's one thing. Just don't open stuff.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Just don't open. You can look at it, but just don't open it. Because the minute you open it, that's where you're opening yourself up to this scam. Got about 5 more minutes. Anything else you think we need to cover?
Just your holiday shopping. Be careful. You're going to be out. The biggest thing is lock your cars. Lock your cars, people. We are having people's cars getting broke into, and it's because they're unlocked. Now, does that make it right? No, it does not. But you can at least help to prevent it.
Right.
They shouldn't be checking your cars anyways, but
They are.
They are. So just take the precaution. Lock your cars. If you got valuables, take them out. If you're out shopping from store to store, put your stuff in the trunk. If you don't have a trunk, if it's in the back seat, or if you got an SUV, so you got all the windows, take a blanket with you. Cover your stuff up. Just be mindful. Just know that if it's visible, they're going to take it.
You bet. We went into the theater back when the kids were younger, and this was back in the Game Boy days and all of that. And one of them had left their little Game Boy, which was, $100 maybe, on the console. And while we were in the theater, they broke out the window and took that. Left everything else, but they saw that, and they knew that would be quick money for a quick fix or whatever it was that they were, a lot of the times it's addiction drives it. I've working in CR, I have friends, that have gone through addiction, and they say when that just gets control of you, you will take somebody's, you become a thief.
What you might not think is valuable to you is valuable to someone else.
All they need is
some money.
Yep.
And so whether you're home, whether you're at a store, whether you're wherever you are, especially when you're home, because a lot of people think when they're home, they're more comfortable. We don't have crime in our area, all that kind of stuff. And so they don't lock their doors. Lock your doors. Okay. Because it's opportunity. If they can open the door and grab what they want, they're going to. And most oftentimes they're just coming up, they're checking the door handle, and they're moving on.
Absolutely.
So
just lock it.
Just lock it.
What do you say to those who want to warm up their car and go back in the house?
Don't.
So hard, though.
It's very hard, and I am guilty of that as well. But I do have 2 keys.
Yeah.
I do have 2 keys.
You crank it and then
so
lock it.
So I go and I will start it, and I will keep another key in my pocket, and I lock it. So you can, if you're able to do that, do that. But don't start your car and leave it unlocked and go back in and take care of your business for 30 minutes and then walk out, because it can take 5 minutes for someone to take your car.
Not even.
Yeah,
I mean
it's
fast.
quick, especially if it's unlocked and it's already running. So you're not going to hear it start.
They're gone.
You're not going to have any indication that anybody is there. And you're going to walk outside to leave, and your nice toasty car is gone.
That's right. Somebody else is like, thanks, and they're off.
Yep, you just made it warm for them.
And you can't say enough about weapons in cars. That's
Exactly.
something that is a huge issue.
Yes.
We have so many people that carry and they leave their weapon in the car unsecured, and the next thing you know, it's in hands of somebody that need to be in.
Yes, you need to be responsible with your firearms. Everyone has a right to carry, but you have to be responsible if you're gonna take that on. That is a huge responsibility, and it shouldn't be taken lightly.
You bet. So, very good. Anything else? We're at the top of the hour here, ready to wrap it up.
That's about it.
Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
We're
I'll
going to
see
have
you-
a bunch of different things.
There
before we
you
get
go.
back.
There you go. How old will Tommy be in January?
What? He'll be 5 months next month.
See, I gotta,
6. Yeah.
I gotta get him his blocks because
Yeah.
he's gonna
Yeah,
start
he'll be there.
chewing on stuff. I gotta
Oh,
get him
he's
his blocks.
drooling. He's
Oh yeah,
He's getting
yeah,
ready.
Yeah. Well, these blocks, they're hardwood, and so they're great teethers. I mean, they really are. But anyway, I gotta bring them. I gotta quit promising them. Thank you so much,
Thank
Jess.
you.
God bless you again.
Have a great day.
Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and all those things. And have a wonderful day, you guys. Absolutely. We'll see you later, Jess. And I hope you have a wonderful day. What's tomorrow? Well, we're going to be talking to Mayor Billy Vogel tomorrow. He is in the house. And then on Wednesday, we've got Tommy Marsh, Crooked Eye Tommy coming in. We're going to play a little music and have a little fun right before we slide into Thanksgiving right here on 1100